Good morning and welcome to Top of the Morning by Mint, your daily shot of sharp business intel, global trends and market movers. It's Tuesday, July 1st. I'm Nelson John. India's playing hardball at home, in the skies and on the global trade table. A new variant of Agni 5 promises to blast through bunkers. Reliance Defence partners with the US to tap into a 20,000 crore rupee military gold mine. Meanwhile, Trump's warming up to Modi as a trade deal nears the finish line. And the RBI, it's flashing red lights over debt, markets and geopolitical tensions. The stakes are global and India's right in the middle. India's chip dreams are getting a long overdue reboot. And two names are now in the ring for it. Tata Semiconductor and Israel's Tower Semiconductor have been shortlisted to revamp the state-run Semiconductor Laboratory, SCL, in Mohali under a 4,000 crore rupee project. Now, this isn't about chasing bleeding-edge tech, it's about securing national capabilities in critical sectors like defense, space and healthcare, where 180 nanometer chips are still essential. Both Tata and Tower cleared the technical round and now face off in the financial bid. The winning bid will modernize SCL's aging 8-inch fab line, upgrading production from 500 to 1,500 wafers a month, replacing decades-old machinery and prepping the site for eventual upgrades to 65, 40 and even 28 nanometer nodes. Tower, interestingly, is already SCL's technology partner. Their engineers currently help maintain the very fab they now want to overhaul, reports Mint's Jatin Grover. IESA President Ashok Chandak puts it the best. This isn't just about chips, it's about workforce training, sovereign capacity and building a design-led innovation hub for India. With semiconductor demand expected to hit $103 billion by 2030 and nearly 15% of that on legacy nodes. India's chip journey might just begin with a strategic throwback. Anil Ambani's Reliance Defence is taking aim at a 20,000 crore rupee opportunity, and it's got American firepower on its side. On Monday, Reliance Defence signed a joint venture pact with US-based Coastal Mechanics Inc. to set up a facility in Mihan, Maharashtra. The goal here is to modernize over 200 frontline military assets, including Jaguar and MiG-29 fighters, Apache helicopters, and even L-70 air defense guns. It's a bold move into India's growing defense, maintenance, repair, and overhaul MRO market driven by military's shift from replacing assets to upgrading and extending their life cycle. The segment represents a high-value, long-duration opportunity, said Reliance in a statement, adding that it aims to be among India's top 3 defense exporters. Experts are bullish. Geopolitical tensions are pushing global defense spending. India can grab a serious share, said analyst Ajay Bagga. Venture's Vineet Bolinjkar added, this JV gives Reliance access to US defense contracts, the world's largest military wallet. India's defense exports have already hit a record 24,000 crore rupees this year. And with Operation Sindoor triggering a strategic rethink, MRO might just become the hottest ticket in India's defense playbook. India's economy is growing fast. So are its warning signs. In its latest financial stability report, the Reserve Bank of India has flagged rising public debt, high asset valuations, and growing geopolitical tensions for fresh financial shocks. Financial markets remain volatile, the RBI warned, especially in government bonds where shifting policy and global uncertainty are adding pressure. Here's the math. India's public debt is expected to surge past 196 lakh crore rupees by March 2026, a sharp jump from last year. At the same time, non-banking financial companies, NBFCs, are being watched closely for taking on excessive risks, potentially worsening market vulnerabilities. Globally, central banks are walking different paths, some battling inflation, others pushing for growth. That divergence, says the RBI, could spill over into emerging markets like India. Still, it's not all gloom. The RBI says India's economic fundamentals remain strong, backed by steady growth and cooling inflation. The financial system is relatively well positioned. The report notes, even as it prepares for potential shocks from tariffs or other conflicts. To tighten stability, the central bank is rolling out reforms focused on digital lending, fraud prevention, and investor protection, aiming to future-proof India's financial backbone. The India-US trade tango is heating up, and it's being choreographed at the very top. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt confirmed on Monday that a trade deal between India and the US is very close, with final touches being ironed out. President Trump shares a very good relationship with Prime Minister Modi, she said, calling India a strategic ally in the Indo-Pacific. Leavitt's remark come as India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar is in Washington for the Quad foreign ministers meet and amid the backdrop of escalating China's concerns in the region. Adding to the momentum, President Trump has accepted Modi's invite to attend the upcoming Quad summit in New Delhi, a move that could signal even deeper strategic and economic cooperation. Meanwhile, both countries are racing to clinch an early harvest deal before the US imposes fresh tariffs on imports from India starting July 9th. The proposed pact aims to resolve trade disputes and lay the foundation for a broader free trade agreement by late 2025. The clock's ticking, but negotiators say the deal's mostly ready, pending final notes from the political leaders on a few sticking points. India is literally digging deep into the next frontier of missile warfare. According to a report by India Today, the RDO is developing new variants of the Agni 5 missile with bunker buster capabilities designed to strike heavily fortified underground targets. Think command centers buried beneath 100 meters of reinforced concrete. These new missiles are being built to punch right through. Inspired in part by the US strikes on Iran's nuclear strikes on June 22nd, where B-2 bombers dropped massive ordnance penetrators, India is charting a smarter, leaner path. Instead of relying on expensive bombers, DRDO plans to make these bunker buster missiles deliverable, faster, and more cost-efficient. Two variants are in the works, one designed for airburst detonations against surface targets, another deep penetration warhead tipped to weigh nearly 8,000 kgs. The new version would trade range for punch, down from 5,000 kilometers to 2,500 kilometers, but with hypersonic speeds between Mach 8 and Mach 20. This isn't just about deterrence. It's about giving India rapid, high-precision options to neutralize buried threats like missile silos, enemy HQs, and hardened nuclear facilities. India's message? If you go underground, we'll still find you. That's all for today. Thank you for joining in. We are eagerly looking forward to our next Top of the Morning episode, which will be packed with the latest news. Until then, this is Nelson John signing off. Have a great day.